What's going on, guys? Welcome back to First Look Reticles on BlackTideTV, bringing you the best of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 content Monday to Friday. Just to recap what is going on in the series so far, what the series is about, this is First Look Reticles. First Look Reticles is where we take a look at every single reticle on every optic that's customizable in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and provide reviews on the reticles, deciding if they are aesthetical or practical. Basically, do they look really cool or are they actually useful for aiming at enemies? Now, we are actually on to the second set of Multiplayer Recon reticles. We've already covered the first set of Reflex, the first set of Recon, the first set of Varix 3, and the first set of Thermal, as well as the second set of Reflex. We're still in Multiplayer reticles. There are a ton of reticles in this game, and we're hoping to cover them all before this game is out, so I've really got to get going on this series and start posting a lot more. Now, today we're actually the second set of the Recon reticles, which is going to be the Crosshair, Soul, 2065, and Trihard reticles. Starting with the Crosshair reticle that you're seeing right now. This is a practical reticle. I really like the Crosshair. I think, apart from the color, it is everything that you need out of a Crosshair kind of reticle. Now, we talked about in the last Reflex First Look Reticles episode, there was a Crosshair type reticle. I can't even remember what it was called, but it was just like this, except it was blue and it was a little bit tighter. The bars were a little bit thicker, and I actually criticized that reticle for saying that the bars are too thick, it's too hard to aim down the sights and actually acquire a target, whereas this one I think just does very, very well. The bars are a little bit skinnier on the Crosshair, just makes picking out targets a lot easier. Now, I did say, apart from that color, a lot of the colors on the Recon are the same. There aren't a lot of reticles that are different funky colors with the Recon, where other kind of reticles are doing different colors. The Recon kind of likes the orange, and orange, as we've pointed out in previous episodes, is a color that blends into a lot of maps. Like the room in here, orange can actually blend into the room. Orange can blend into the dust and the dirt on some of the dirtier levels. Like Fringe, that map is just hell. Using an orange reticle on there, it's just really, really hard. You can't really do it. Now we're moving on to the Soul reticle now. The Soul reticle is going to require 300 kills while aiming down the sights with the Recon. The Crosshair just before this, I forgot to mention, actually requires 200 kills while aiming down the sights. Now the Soul reticle is definitely aesthetical. I think, yeah, you can use it for picking out targets. The black kind of details and stuff aren't super defined. They're not super, super dark in that they're going to get in your way. They're not super thick, but it's definitely just aesthetical. There's so many other great options as when it comes to the Recon site for practical use. We've got the Cyborg, you've got the Crosshair, the 2065, which you're going to see in a couple of seconds. They're all really, really good for practical use, whereas this one, it's got that practical dot right in the middle, but again, it's orange. It's orange, everybody. But it's also got all these weird details and stuff. This is kind of right on the line of practical and aesthetical. It's very nice to look at. It's very cool. It's got an intricate design, and you can kind of show off with it, and you can use it as a pretty good weapon, pretty good reticle for target finding. So it's kind of right on the line. It straddles the line. It's not my favorite, and but it's not bad. Now, the next one you're going to see is the 2065 reticle. The 2065 reticle is actually one of my favorite Recon reticles, I think, in the whole game. It's just like the Cyborg reticle that we covered in the last Recon video, which I will link in the card in the top right corner and in the description below if you're interested in seeing that video. But the 2065 reticle is a lot like the Cyborg reticle in that it's very circular. I'm a sucker for the circular kind of reticles, the ones that are just super, super clean and circular and nice and easy to look through, and that's what this 2065 reticle is all about. It's also very, very similar to that Lambda reticle that we talked about on the last Reflex, I think it was the last Reflex First Look Reticles episode, where it's circular like a shield, and then it's got this kind of lambda at the bottom, this sort of Greek letter that's just super cool. It reminds me of the 300 shields. Again, it's just like the lambda reticle that we've already covered, with the kind of the point at the bottom and the circle around. So I really like this reticle. This is probably one of my favorite ones. It's not as good as Cyborg for being practical. It's not as clean, but it is very, very nice. It's got a nice hollow circle in the middle. It's just super, super awesome for acquiring targets. It's wide enough if you're using this on a sniper rifle that you can actually see an enemy's head inside that circle, but it's not too wide that you can see more than just a head inside that circle. So it's a very nice reticle for being for practical use for actually acquiring targets, and it's also just very nice for being good looking. It's a really good looking reticle. It's not something that's just too plain. It's not just a dot in the middle. It's nice, and it's also very practical. I find that's a way that the Recon is actually taking when it comes to these reticles, is that where the Reflex and the BO3, they're kind of being a little bit conservative when it comes to this second set of reticles, where they're like really, really serious. All of the reticles, the first 7 reticles for each of those sites, are all very serious until you get to the final 4, which are just wacky and crazy. Whereas the Recon reticles kind of start getting crazy right off the bat. You've got the pincer reticle that we talked about on our last Recon first look reticles. It's kind of a little bit different. Then you've got the Soul and the 2065. You got the Trihard, which we're going to see in a couple seconds. The Recon reticles, they really do start to get wacky a lot sooner than the Reflex and the BO3. The other ones, they're super conservative. They're like all about being practical. There's not a lot of room for just having fun until you get to those final 4 reticles. Now, like I said at the beginning of this episode, I was going to actually recap how the second set of reticles for each of these optics is actually working. The first set were the first 3 reticles for each optic. So the default and the first 2 in the multiplayer set. The second set of reticles that we're actually working through right now are the next 4 reticles in order in the multiplayer section. Then the next 4 after that are the special ones. You actually have to do special challenges apart from just kills while aiming down sights to actually unlock those. So those ones are going to have special videos of their own. So I'm trying to fit all 4 of each of these reticles, of the second set of reticles, into a single video for each of these optics. I keep saying reticles and optics. I'm so scared that I'm going to screw those up, because the words are so similar in my mind, like they're right there, like right next to each other, and I feel like I'm going to screw them up every time. Now, 2065, I don't believe I mentioned that it actually takes 400 kills while aiming down sights with the Recon to actually unlock that one. See, the thing with the second set of reticles in multiplayer is that they all require just the same amount of kills for every reticle. It doesn't matter which optics. So you've got 200, 300, 400, and 500 kills respectively. So I keep forgetting to mention that as well. So the Trihard reticle, which you're actually seeing right now on the Dingo, is going to require 500 kills while aiming down the sights with the Recon, and it is the final reticle before you get into the really funky, crazy ones that require certain challenges to unlock. Now, the Trihard reticle is, again, it's straddling the line of practical and aesthetical. Now, the Dingo was a poor choice in weapon for this, just because it's such a long weapon. It's got a very long barrel, and it kind of makes the reticle blend into it a little bit, just because the reticle it's basically a T for Trihard, I guess, but there's 2 like slim, try and get your words right, BlackTide. There's 2 slim black bars going to the left and right of the main reticle, and there's also a final slim black bar that comes down from the middle of the reticle, but it's got these little kind of orange dots on it. It reminds me of the drop shot reticle that we've had in Call of Duty Pass, where it's got like little arrows or something underneath the reticle for getting ready to prepare for your actually drop shotting. So I guess that's where the Trihard comes in. Only Trihard's drop shot, I don't know, but it's, again, it's just kind of straddling the line of practical and aesthetical. It's not really amazing looking, and it's pretty practical. I mean, it's just got this small little dot, and it's got a sort of round circle around that dot to make your aiming a little bit better. I'm not sure, but I mean, again, it's not extremely practical. It's not extremely aesthetical. It's kind of right in the middle. So I don't like this reticle, to be honest with you guys. And I think that main defining feature, that bar in the middle, kind of gets faded out on a lot of weapons. So I wouldn't recommend the Trihard one. My favorite of today is the 2065. What's your favorite reticle that you saw today? Let me know in the comment section down below. What's your favorite reticle on the Recon site in general? Let me know that in the comment section down below. Hit that like button for this camper that's about to kill me. And yeah, so that's about it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be coming back again tomorrow for more BlackTideTV. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Probably a fan submitted first look camo if somebody gets their shit up, because I saw a video up there yesterday, someone trying to cement me a fan submitted first look camo, and it kind of just got taken down or something. I don't know. Hopefully we can get another fan submitted first look camo in tomorrow. If not, might be a first look reticle or something else. Hope to see you there. Subscribe to get that video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.